I thought my best friend stood beside me to celebrate. Turns out, she stood beside me just to ruin everything. Grace had dreamed of this day for years, soft lighting, gold decor. Her mother crying as she walked down the aisle. Nick, the love of her life, smiling like she was his whole world. Everything was perfect, until the toast. Tara stood confidently, champagne in hand. They had been best friends since middle school. Grace trusted her like a sister. I've seen Grace through every chapter, from high school crush to college heartbreaks. And even that thing in Cabo she swore she'd take to her grave. Laughter, Grace froze. Oh, come on, Nick, don't look so shocked. You married a wild one, the crowd chuckled. Nick's jaw tightened. Grace's smile broke. Grace kept it together. No screaming, no tears, just silence. But later that night, when the guests had gone and the dress was hung up, she stood in the mirror, replaying the moment over and over. She planned that, Grace whispered. That wasn't a slip. That was a knife. She didn't text Tara, didn't block her, didn't warn her. You wanted a moment, Tara? I'll give you one, on your wedding day. Years passed, Grace's marriage survived, but trust had cracks. Tara's career soared. She dated rich, posted polished pics, and finally announced her engagement to a tech VP. The wedding of the decade was trending. And Grace, she waited, quietly collecting memories, screenshots, was logged secrets, every laugh at Grace's expense. And she knew the one person Tara never wanted to disappoint. Her new in-laws. You toasted your way through my pain. Now I'll raise a glass to your ruin. They say revenge is best served cold. Mine was printed on embossed stationery with an RSVP that read, delighted to attend. It arrived in a velvet envelope. Cream-colored card, gold trim, everything about it screamed Tara. Grace held it for a long moment. She didn't need to read the details. She already knew the venue, the theme, the guest list. She smiled softly, then reached for a pen. Our SVP will attend. Note, can't wait to celebrate your big day. Grace started liking Tara's posts again, commenting, sending voice notes with fake warmth. Oh my God, your dress fitting looks like a dream. So happy for you, Tara, eager for approval, addicted to praise. Welcomed her back instantly. I'm so glad we reconnected. I want my day to feel complete, and it wouldn't without you. Grace laughed softly after every message. She was inside now. No suspicion, no barrier. And once you're inside, Grace thought, they'll never see the fuse until it burns out. Grace knew exactly who would be there. Tara's influential new in-laws, her high-profile boss sponsors who followed her every move, and her former flings. A few of whom never fully ended things. Grace didn't need lies. She needed the truth served in whispers, in moments. So she began reaching out. Hey, remember that thing Tara said at Grace's wedding? You didn't hear it from me, but Grace didn't plan to show up empty-handed. Her gift would be unforgettable. She contacted a custom print shop. Sent them some screenshots. Old texts Tara had begged her to delete. Cheating, lies. A cruel comment about her future mother-in-law's appearance. She had them printed and sealed inside a fake memory book labeled Tara's Most Treasured Moments. The shop had no idea Tara would open it on the honeymoon with her husband, IRSVPD, with a smile, and packed a bomb in a bow. She turned my wedding into a public joke. Now it's her turn, and I'm not saying a word. I'll just let her drown in the truth. Grace arrived 20 minutes early, wearing a sleek black dress, tasteful diamonds, and a calm, unreadable smile. Guests stared, not because she was overdressed, but because she looked like someone who knew everything. Tara's mother gasped when she saw her. Oh, I didn't think you'd actually come. Of course I came, Grace said warmly. Tara and I go way back. She smiled, kissed her cheek, and walked inside. Grace didn't cause a scene. She caused questions. At the refreshment table, she bumped into Tara's ex, the one from her Cabo incident. Do you know she told the same joke at your wedding rehearsal? I'm glad you dodged the bullet. Near the photo booth, she gently asked a bridesmaid, "Did Tara ever apologize to you for adding your pregnancy back in college?" "Oh, she didn't, Each sentence was polite, measured, sharpened just enough to leave a sting. Tara stood at the altar, radiant, nervous, waiting for her cue. Grace sat in the second row, smiling softly, behind her. A few guests whispered. The groom's parents kept glancing at each other, and just as the officiant began the vows, a small child, the ring bearer, handed Tara a white envelope. She looked confused, opened it. Inside, a single printed message. "You told your last secret at my wedding. Here's what they'll find out at yours." Tara's hand trembled. She looked up and met Grace's gaze. Across the crowd, Grace didn't blink. Tara turned pale. Is this some kind of joke?" She asked the officiant, "Can we pause for a second?" But the guests didn't laugh. They looked uncomfortable. Her groom asked, "Tara, what is this?" She stuffed the note into her bouquet. "It's nothing. Let's just continue." But the doubt had already bloomed. By the time the reception began, people were already talking. Tara's exes, her ex-boss, her mother-in-law, all receiving subtle nudges, all beginning to connect dots. The wedding photographer asked for Tara's memory book for a close-up shot. And then she opened a box, saw the cover, and froze. Tara's most treasured moments, she flipped a page, saw a screenshot, then another, and another. The groom looked over her shoulder. Grace stood silently by the bar, sipping champagne. She didn't wave, she didn't gloat, she just walked out. "She took my dignity in front of 300 people. I returned the favor in front of everyone who mattered. She tried to ruin my wedding and my marriage, now just days into hers. Her husband knows exactly who he married." The wedding ended on uneasy smiles and polite exits. The groom didn't kiss Tara when they left. On the plane to their luxury honeymoon in Amalfi, she tried to laugh it off. It was just a jealous ex-friend trying to stir drama. But when he opened the memory book Grace had gifted and saw pages of screenshots, private messages, and timestamps, the silence between them became permanent. Back home, Tara posted nothing. No honeymoon pics. No Mr. and Mrs. photos. Just silence. Then, quietly, the groom unfollowed her. 3 days later, he deleted every trace of their wedding from his account. Whispers spread fast. "Did you hear? He moved out." She tried to delete everything, but the screenshots were real. Her mother-in-law cut her off completely. The empire Tara built on manipulation crumbled. Grace didn't have to lift a finger. The truth did all the work. One evening, Grace received a short email from the groom. "Thank you. I wish someone had warned me sooner. Whatever she did to you, she did far worse to others. You gave me the gift of clarity. I hope you find peace." She smiled. "I already did," she whispered. Grace never posted a single thing. Never bragged, never gloated. She moved on. Found love again, one that didn't need revenge as a shadow. And when people asked what happened between her and Tara, she simply said, "Sometimes people write their own endings. I just turned the page. I didn't crash her wedding. I didn't scream, expose, or beg. I just gave the truth a chance to breathe, and it did the rest."